This levy will bring in $538,250 per year. This is a renewal levy, so residents' taxes will not increase. The estimated annual cost to the homeowner is $194.04 per 100,000 of the market value. As the mayor stated, that is a large chunk of money, which we do use for all of our services. So I do encourage people to hopefully go out and vote for the levy so we can continue with our same level of services that we've always had. The Auditor's Office also prepared Ordinance 10/2020. This is an emergency ordinance that the Service Director is asking to be placed on the table to be voted on tonight. It is an additional appropriation of $16,000 to 01-5813 equipment outlay for the fitness center. The fitness center floor was ruined many weeks ago, and Tom Paul has been working to get bids for replacing the floor. The village's insurance has a deductible of $25,000, so we will need to pay outright for the floor. Many residents have inquired about when the fitness center will open, so I urge council to place this on the table tonight. And then one thing in addition, I received word that we are done with our audit for 2019 today. It has been sent upstate. So, and that concludes my report.
Thank you. Director of Law, Ms. Van Valkenburg.
Yeah, I just have one question. Maybe I don't really understand this, but on the last one with the actual levy information, you have 538,250. But in the ordinance itself, or in the resolution, it's 563,147.
Believe it or not, and I don't understand that, but it came from the county. There's different numbers to it. It would be that number for the August one, and it goes down for the November one. Sorry, I used the November certificate.
Okay.
So I'm hoping it passes in August. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Director of Law.
Thank you. I met with the Laws, Contract, and Claims Committee earlier this week. We were discussing the anti-discrimination ordinance. We had received the evening before some additional information from the public input, so we're taking a little time to look at that, review that. We'll be meeting again, I believe it's the 8th, to discuss potential additions or changes to the proposed ordinance. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Treasurer, Mr. Ungar.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have the statements from the bank, Star Ohio, with our holdings up with the state of Ohio, totaled at the end of May 31st, 2020, $3,811,394.08, and copies have been given to the council members and to the clerk. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Safety and Service Director, Mr. Paul.
Good evening, everyone. McClellan Avenue project is underway and will be completed by the end of July. The Bank Avenue landfill monitoring will start being shut down on June the 6th. The EPA has given us permission to do this as our readings have been zero for greater than 6 months. We will go from a quarterly reading to semi-annually and then eventually being stopped. This is good news for the residents and the village. We have made progress on the fitness center. The floor was ruined, so it needs to be replaced. We had to wait on insurance, then bids from companies. These have been completed. I am waiting on when the company can start. It's a rather big job with moving all the equipment around. There will be another easement at the safety center property for Duke Energy. I will explain more at the committee of the whole meeting. Jerry Stoker and I have been researching it. To my community, to the younger ones, I hope you came to the realization that the elders bring about a feeling of security by just knowing that they are there to help, comfort, listen, and love. To the older ones, I hope you came to peacefully understand that although you felt you were desperately needed, and no way will they ever survive without you, that they will endure after you are gone. To the ones whose faces still feel the warmth of the sun, may you comfort, listen, help, and love those who are afraid but yet are enduring. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Tax Commissioner / Administrator, Ms. Helms.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to give everyone a friendly reminder that St. Bernard municipal tax returns are due July 15th, 2020. Please file early and do not wait, as lines will be long on July 15th. Also, there have been questions regarding 2020 estimated quarterly payment due dates. First quarter is due 7/15/2020. Second quarter is due 7/31/2020. Third quarter is due 10/31/2020, and the fourth quarter will be due 1/31/2021. 2021. This concludes my report.
Thank you. Move to reports of standing committees. Finance, Mr. Taverky.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, I make a motion to put ordinance 10, 2020 on the table tonight.
Second that.
Motion by Mr. Taverky, second by Mr. Ray Culbertson to place ordinance number 10, 2020 on the table. Are there any remarks? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
Also, the village received $26,308.07 for the garbage fee program in April. This brings the total for the first 4 months of this year to $100,114.27. July 18th from 9 to 11:30 a.m., Don and Lily Middendorf will be holding one of their Matthew 25 Ministry disaster relief drives located in the lower level City Hall parking lot. It will be accepting lightly used clothing items along with latex paint and cleaning supplies. And also next Saturday, July 4th, the service department is off on the 3rd. So trash pickup next week. If your pickup's on Thursday, it'll be on Wednesday, and Friday pickup will be Thursday. Concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you. Safety, Mr. Ray Culbertson.
Thanks, Mr. President. I have the fire department monthly report for May. There was a total of 54 fire incidents, which included 10 structure fires, 10 auto accidents, and 10 fire alarms. Mutual aid was given to Norwood 7 times, Elmwood Place once, and Little Miami once. Mutual aid was received from Norwood 3 times, Elmwood Place twice, Little Miami twice, Wyoming twice, and Springfield Township twice. On the EMS side, there was a total of 122 EMS incidents with 57 transports and 65 non-transports. Some details of interest include 3 non-breathers, 10 unconscious, and 15 auto accidents. EMS mutual aid was given to Elmwood Place 21 times and Norwood twice. Mutual aid was received from Norwood once, Springfield Township once, and Lockland once. I'd like to congratulate the 2 new police officers that have started, and I will also announce a safety committee meeting here in the next day or two once I get with the other 2 members to pick out an appropriate date. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Service, Mr. Schultmeyer.
No report this month, or this meeting, Mr. President.
Thank you. Public improvements, Mr. Bob Culbertson.
No report, Mr. President.
Thank you. Laws, contracts, and claims, Ms. Bettinghouse.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Laws, Contracts, and Claims Committee met on June 23rd to further discuss the anti-discrimination ordinance that the village is recommending. The content relative to what the ordinance will cover is pretty much completed and agreed upon by the committee members, Ray and Chris, as well as by the mayor and the law director. What is yet to be decided is the membership and roles and responsibilities of the Human Rights Commission to preside over claims violating the ordinance. At the meeting, the committee, as well as the mayor and law director, received several examples of other community human rights commissions to review. It was decided that the Laws, Contracts, and Claims Committee needed time to review the information and come back together with recommendations relative to the Human Rights Commission content. There will be another Laws, Contracts, and Claims Committee meeting on Wednesday, July 8th at 6 p.m. in Centennial Hall. Thanks to Nicole Plumbo and the law director for the various ordinance to review. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Marketing, Ms. Miller.
Thank you, Mr. President. Tonight, I would like to remind everyone that the virtual Fresh Market will be held this Sunday, June 28th, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. For more information, please visit their Facebook site listed as St. Bernard Fresh Market. Also, the Say Soccer deadline is Friday, July 10th. With that being said, please make sure to sign up if you have a child interested in playing soccer. Sign-ups are at City Hall Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And that includes my report.
That's everything. Thank you. Business and industry, Ms. Housefeld.
Thank you, Mr. President. Tonight, I have the Village of St. Bernard's Building and Zoning Department for May 2020 activities report. Building activities, there were 16 residential permits, 2 commercial permits. Total fees for residential permits was $930. Total fees for commercial permits was $1,900. Amount paid back to the Treasurer, State of Ohio for residential was $9.30. And the amount paid back to the Treasurer, State of Ohio commercial was $57.02. That concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you. Committee of the Whole, Ms. Kathman.
Committee of the Whole has been submitted to the administration and the members of council.
Thank you very much. Are there any communications this evening?
No, Mr. President.
All right. This time, we'll have the clerk give the first reading of resolution number 6.
Resolution number 6, 2020. Resolution authorizing a renewal of the 7 mil tax levy on the current real property tax rate for real property located within the village of St. Bernard, certifying said resolution to the Hamilton County Board of Elections and declaring an emergency.
Members of council, you've heard the first reading of resolution number 6, 2020. What is your pleasure?
Mr. President,
Ms. Bettinghouse?
I make a motion to suspend with the second and third reading of resolution number 6, 2020.
I'll second that, Mr. President.
A motion by Ms. Bettinghouse, second by Ms. Housefeld to suspend with the second and third reading of resolution number 6, 2020. Are there any remarks? If not, clerk, will you please call the roll on the motion?
Mr. DeBerke?
Aye.
Mr. Ray Culberson?
Aye.
Mr. Schuldmeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Bob Culberson?
Aye.
Mrs. Bettinghouse?
Aye.
Ms. Miller?
Aye.
Ms. Housefeld?
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, motion carries. Members of council, what is your pleasure on adoption?
Mr. President,
Ms. Bettinghouse?
I make a motion to adopt resolution number 6, 2020.
I'll second it.
A motion by Ms. Bettinghouse, second by Mr. Ray Culbertson to adopt resolution number 6, 2020. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Mr. DeBerke?
Aye.
Mr. Ray Culberson?
Aye.
Mr. Schuldmeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Bob Culberson?
Aye.
Mrs. Bettinghouse?
Aye.
Ms. Miller?
Aye.
Ms. Housefeld?
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, motion carries. Resolution number 6, 2020 is adopted as read. Clerk, will you please give the first reading of ordinance number 10, 2020?
Ordinance number 10, 2020, authorizing and directing the auditor to provide additional appropriations and declaring an emergency.
Members of council, you've heard the first reading of ordinance number 10, 2020. What is your pleasure?
Mr. President,
Ms. Bettinghouse?
I make a motion to suspend with the second and third reading of ordinance number 10, 2020.
I'll second that, Mr. President.
A motion by Ms. Bettinghouse, second by Ms. Housefeld to suspend with the second and third reading of ordinance number 10, 2020. Are there any remarks? If not, anyone in the audience wish to address council? All right, clerk, will you please call the roll on the motion?
Mr. DeBerke?
Aye.
Mr. Ray Culberson?
Aye.
Mr. Schuldmeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Bob Culberson?
Aye.
Mrs. Bettinghouse?
Aye.
Ms. Miller?
Aye.
Ms. Housefeld?
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, motion carries. Members of council, what is your pleasure on adoption?
Mr. President,
Ms. Bettinghouse?
I make a motion to adopt ordinance number 10, 2020.
I'll second that.
A motion by Ms. Bettinghouse, second by Mr. Ray Culbertson to adopt ordinance number 10, 2020. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Mr. DeBerke?
Aye.
Mr. Ray Culberson?
Aye.
Mr. Schuldmeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Bob Culberson?
Aye.
Mrs. Bettinghouse?
Aye.
Ms. Miller?
Aye.
Ms. Housefeld?
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, motion carries. Ordinance number 10, 2020 is adopted as read. At this time, is there anyone on council that has anything under old business? If not, anything under new business? If not, would the fire chief like to address council on anything? All right.
Mr. President,
Ms. Housefeld.
I just wanted to thank the mayor for, I called him yesterday with citizens' concerns about the levy and the COVID cases here in town, and I appreciate him getting back and giving a report on that stuff today. Thank you.
All right, thank you. At this time, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. President,
Mr. Ray Culbertson.
make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second that.
Motion by Mr. Ray Culbertson, second by Ms. Bettinghouse to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered. We are adjourned.